All right, let's talk about Derrick Henry of the Baltimore Ravens, the, incredible running back, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. However, I did not think he had the best, certainly not the best statistical day with the Ravens. He had 13 carries and a touchdown, but just 46 yards for a 3.7 yards per carry average. So what is it? I mean, the Chiefs have kind of been known for not being great at stopping the run, and yet this is now back-to-back games where they've done a really good job at stopping the Ravens' run. The Ravens, obviously, a lot of people talked about how they abandoned the run last year, but what they don't really talk about is that their traditional run game wasn't really working that much to begin with. So it kind of happened again. Why? Let's talk about it. First, Derrick Henry is going to start off this play running towards the offense's left. You see the blocking concept on that side of the screen. And to be honest, when this play begins, it's looking pretty good. Like, there is a window for Henry to run through. There is a player to block just about everybody. There is a Chiefs player who could come in and try and make a play. But, Henry's the kind of guy who can run over one Chiefs player, you would think, right? Well, look at that player right there for Kansas City. One of the issues is that if you're going to be doing this, you have to be able to have a bunch of guys who can make their blocks. And right here, that just doesn't happen. I mean, the Ravens player actually got blocked into Derrick Henry, and he was kind of the one who tripped Henry up on this one. As much as we want to sit here and say Derrick Henry is inhuman, he is human, and he is someone who you can tackle. And if he doesn't have a running lane to go through, it's not going to go too well for him. And I think that's part of maybe why, in my opinion, why the Chiefs have done a good job at stopping the Ravens is they just keep having guys win. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's coincidence or maybe they just kind of have a couple of Ravens players' numbers. But this plays another example where it's going to be Chris Jones, who, I mean, he makes a lot of guys look foolish, right? Although it is worth mentioning, too, the Ravens have a lot of new faces on this offensive line, and to be honest, I don't love all of the offensive linemen on this team. I think that their blocking might not be great this year, and I do wonder if this is something that could continue to happen even when it's not Chris Jones, but it certainly can't happen when it's the best defensive tackle in the league, in my opinion. Watch as Jones is going to kind of quickly blow by that offensive lineman trying to, it looked like he was untouched, like this was by design. This was not by design. This is just how well Chris Jones can get past the line. And then he just goes over and essentially hugs Derrick Henry and lets other guys come in and make the play. Again, you don't have to necessarily beat a guy to drag him down, but if you can just sort of slow him down, the other guys will help you out, right? It's a team sport. So this is just something that you kind of see in a lot of these plays. Certainly not all of them. Something like this is exactly what the Ravens want, which is it's going to be a 2nd down and 2. Again, you see the blocking concept going towards the offense's right. Right here, there is a fullback in the game. I actually kind of like using fullbacks here with Derrick Henry. I think that could help out. But anyway, you see when this play begins, blocking concept's working pretty well. There is a Chiefs player right there that I've circled in white. He's the closest unblocked man. And for the Ravens, you're thinking that's okay. He's past the first down marker. Sure, we want a touchdown, but we should be able to at least get the first down. But this is where Derrick Henry just comes through, right? He's able to just sort of power forward, and you can't tackle him like that. That's kind of where he thrives, is if you're not getting a lot of contact on him, he is still strong enough to run through you and get into the end zone for a touchdown. So when you have that kind of ability, that's really what makes him special. So seeing stuff like this makes you excited if you're a Ravens fan. Of course, Henry is much more than just a goal line back, but a play like that is definitely very good. Also, something like this, which is going to be a play action, which, to be honest, as deadly as Derrick Henry is with the football and has been with the football over the course of his career, that is not the most deadly Derrick Henry play. Usually, the most deadly Derrick Henry play is a play action because so much emphasis has to go towards stopping Henry. So you see Lamar Jackson fakes the handoff, and right here, this play is working, right? Isaiah Likely is in a one-on-one matchup. Pretty much everyone else for Kansas City is just focused on stopping the run. Lamar then is able to hit Likely, who still had to win his one-on-one matchup, and he did pretty significantly, I would say. The rest of the help, though, that could have been there was taken away due to a play action. Now, not sure how much that was because of Henry, but definitely a part of it was, and that's something that, there is still going to be value in, I would say. And something like this, too, we did see where it's going to be a run towards the offense's right. Again, you see a couple of the blocks that are going to be key on this one. Henry is going to start running towards the offense's left. I'm not sure if that was by design or if this was always supposed to be a run to the right. I don't know. Again, I'm not in the huddle. Can't say for sure. But you see, though, right here, there is a Kansas City player who could try to reach out and make a tackle on Derrick Henry. But again, the thing about Henry is if you get him in the backfield, if you can get a good amount of contact on him, you of course can bring him down. It's a lot more difficult. Watch as, a little bit of contact doesn't really bring him down. Eventually, there is enough contact by Justin Reed to make the tackle, but it took a minute. And this is this is the value of Derrick Henry. He can make the first guy miss. You have to put more resources into tackling him, all that good stuff. But the Ravens have to stop having plays like this, where it's going to be those two Chiefs players, those two linebackers, essentially just watch what happens. Lamar is going to take the snap, and both of them just get completely through the line untouched. They read this play really well, and they get over to where there were Ravens players supposed to eventually get up to the next level and block these two guys, but just the two linebackers read this play so quickly, they got here. And part of me wonders if maybe the play calling is just a bit too predictable. And Steve Spagnuolo is really good at this stuff. And maybe he kind of, clues his guys in on, hey, this is when the running plays are going to be. This is what we expect. And, you see the Chiefs linebackers are so aggressive. It might just be some of that, too. They have aggressive linebackers. That plays Baltimore well. Again, Henry does what he can, but is going to lose a yard on that pretty much every time if you have multiple guys almost untouched in the backfield. So these are the types of plays that the Ravens have to work on getting rid of. So yeah, listen, I don't know exactly what to make of this because it does seem like for whatever reason the Chiefs kind of have a way to stop the Ravens running game, and this is now a couple times they've done it, even with Derrick Henry. Another thing worth mentioning is Henry is usually known for once kind of the second half rolls around, and especially the fourth quarter when everyone's tired, he tends to not get tired, and that's really where he makes his money. In this game, the Ravens felt they had to throw the ball a lot being down, so because of that, maybe they weren't able to get the full value out of someone like Derrick Henry. I think that's probably fair to say as well. But as a whole, through week one, it was. I think you were hoping for a little more if you're a Ravens fan. I think that's fair to say. I don't think it was really his fault necessarily, but again, we have seen times when he gets mad at the line and still finds a way to gain some more yards. But again, at the same time, he is human. If he doesn't have a running lane, there is only so much he can do. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Derrick Henry in his first game with the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.